Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin Nix, and welcome back to NASCAR Mailbox. Ryan Blaney took home the NASCAR Cup Series win this past weekend at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Corey Heim won yet again in the truck race. It's his ninth win of the season, and he ties Greg Biffle for the all-time record for trucks in a single season in wins. Neither driver was the big story this weekend, however. The big story happened during stage two when Denny Hamlin rather inexplicably took out Ty Gibbs, and Gibbs was not happy during the race, not happy after the race, and he has said that he might potentially retaliate against Denny in the 11 team. So that is what this week's question will be from within us at Frontstretch. It is, was Denny justified or way out of line in his decision to dump the 54? My point of view on the accident is I think Denny was out of line here. There's a part of me that thinks that Denny was just expecting Ty Gibbs to just roll over and just that Gibbs would just let the 11 car by. He doesn't have to, and nor should he. I think it was frustration from Denny because Denny's back in the pack, doesn't have the best car, and I think his temper just boiled over and he took out the 54. And doesn't matter if it's a teammate or not. If even if it was just a random guy, if it was say it was Hocevar taking out Stenhouse again, for example, like that would be unacceptable. This is almost even more unacceptable because you just took out your teammate, and Gibbs is going to hold a grudge because of that. And it was just not a wise move that Denny's crew chief needed to get on the radio and tell him like, please calm down, please settle down, because that type of accident is easily something that could turn around and bite Denny in the rear end before the season is done. Even if it's not from Ty Gibbs, it might be from somebody else. That if that's how Denny races, if that's how he's going to race in this final stretch of the season, with the championship on the line, that he's not going to have patience for you if you're not in the playoffs. I mean, no non-playoff driver is going to give him any quarter or space whatsoever. They're going to make his life absolutely miserable on the racetrack. And it was just a mistake. It was the best possible case scenario was that it was a mistake, and then he just overshot the corner and took out Ty Gibbs. But my opinion, looking at the replay, I think he just cleaned them out. I think he was just tired of racing with them. He was getting frustrated, and he just shipped them into the corner and took him out of the race, which obviously is not acceptable. That should not happen. Gibbs, Joe Gibbs, that is, has said that he is not going to get involved, which is pretty interesting to me because Ty is now in a position where he could take Denny Hamlin out of a race later on. He could take him out of a championship race as well. And the issue goes back to with the playoffs. Playoff drivers should not expect non-playoff drivers to race them any differently. Everyone should race each other how they race before the playoffs begin. Like just because you're not in the playoffs doesn't mean you should roll over and just let the playoff guys pass you. I've always had a problem with that philosophy, especially in the championship race at Phoenix, where it always seems like the best guy, like the playoff drivers always just everyone else races them so timidly, so passively. I don't like that. You're the champion, you have to earn it. Just because you're in the playoffs doesn't mean that you get raced with extra respect or something like that. Like you're just a competitor just like everybody else. I do think Denny was out of line. I think he just let his frustration get the better of him, but he has to be very careful because Ty Gibbs now has this in his back pocket. And obviously Gibbs has not been the cleanest. Gibbs has been pretty clean since he got the cup, but he's not the cleanest driver in the lower divisions. So just keep that in mind, Denny. That's all I'm saying. Just keep that in mind. Because this is easily the type of incident that the retaliation could come back around and it could take you out of the championship as well. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of NASCAR Mailbox. My name is Kevin Nix. We got great racing coming up this weekend at Kansas Speedway, the second race of the round of 12. So we will see if other Penske drivers lock themselves into the next round. I hope everyone enjoys the racing this weekend.
Hi, everybody. Tom Bowles from Frontstretch. Good journalism isn't free. It takes time, resources, and dedication. We at Frontstretch are proud of all the motorsport stories that we do and want to be able to keep offering them to everyone without going to a subscription model. That's where we need help from those who have not only the passion for motorsports, but also the means to potentially help out an independent journalism outlet. If 400 people stopped right now and gave us $10, we'd be able to fund all our travel to all the racetracks that we cover for a month and bring you all these great videos that you see here every week. So if you love us, our reporters, our content, please consider a donation at frontstretch.com/donate. We're thankful for everyone's support, and we take seriously the privilege of bringing quality, unbiased motorsports coverage to all of you sitting there at home.